arbetsplats, men också att man av de medarbetare man har skapar att alla medarbetarna får möjlighet att bli experter och de bästa inom sina områden. Det handlar om att ta vara på allas potential. Det är en väldigt stor del i alla organisationer idag som inte känner engagemang, som inte känner att deras potential tas tillvara. För att man ser ledare och ledning och sånt ser bara vissa människor och vissa beteenden och vissa som man känner igen sig i och missar ganska mycket att lyfta potential som finns ute i organisationen. Så det är det jag jobbar med.
Perfect. I think actually it's something that you both could actually work on. Maybe it would be good to have a catch up between you both. Because now, Daniela, you can say who you are.
Yeah, please tell me who you are.
Yeah, because Camilla will need more context. Should I do it in Swedish as well?
Are you, Martin and Sue, are you happy for them to do it in Swedish?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
It's a challenge for me to know how much I understand. I understood everything Camilla said then, so it's fine.
Yeah, impressive. Yeah, good. Okay, så byta språk igen. Jag tycker också att det blir lite ovant. Ja, men jag heter Daniela och jag har precis startat ett företag som heter Derive Digital. Och där jobbar jag med olika typer av företag för att bidra till att öka deras intäkter helt enkelt och antal kunder och klienter och så. Så de företagen som jag har hjälpt hittills har uppskattat att jag har tagit tiden och bara lärt känna dem och deras företag, så vi har verkligen gått in på djupet på vad deras mål och vision och men vad som gör deras företag unikt helt enkelt. Och sen så tar jag den informationen och skapar en marknadsföringsplan till dem. Yes, precis. Så den kommer vara skräddarsydd för varje företag helt enkelt som jag jobbar med. Så,
förlåt. Nej, fortsätt. Förlåt.
Jättesnart klar. Ja, och då har de kunnat gå från ett mer traditionellt sätt att marknadsföra till att kunna marknadsföra till deras specifika ideala kund helt enkelt med hjälp av sociala medier. Så jag använder sociala medier som ett verktyg helt enkelt för att hjälpa kunderna att hitta till dig som företag och lära sig lite mer om vad du gör för dem, hur du kan hjälpa dem och helt enkelt hur du kan förbättra deras liv. Och det är det som är så himla powerful ordet, men det är det som är så himla mäktigt med att hitta rätt målgrupp och visa vad du kan göra för dem specifikt.
Vad häftigt, ja, jätteintressant.
Ja. Så det är det som jag gör och det finns oftast mycket frågor kring det här så att jag är så öppen för att svara på frågor även efter eventet. Eller om ni vill connecta på LinkedIn eller hoppa in i ett Zoom-möte så är det alltid jättetrevligt. Yes.
Ja, intressant.
Perfect. Yes, I think it'd be good connections for you both, don't you? Camilla and Daniela.
Ja, vi jobbar ju egentligen med du lyssnar mer på företaget, jag bestämmer. Nej, men du har ju mer att du lyssnar till vad de har idag och deras styrkor. Medan jag mer är nischad mot
deras svagheter.
Deras svagheter. Jag trycker ner dem först, sen lyfter jag dem. Nej, men att det handlar mycket att det handlar om jämställdhet. För att egentligen när jag startade företag så var det med jämställdhet som var det som jag brann för, det som jag ville jobba med. Men jag känner också att rena utbildningar och komma på enstaka insatser gör inte så stor skillnad, utan det handlar om att jobba med värdegrund och kulturen från grunden och verkligen liksom förändra attityden och beteendena och helt enkelt jobba med att förändra kulturen. Det är ganska stort, men det är ofta så handlar jämställdhet om att alla i ledningen tycker att de är väldigt jämställda, men när du går ner i organisationen så känner sig inte medarbetare varken involverade eller att de är de som de blir sedda till. Och det är mycket man kan se i mönster är ju att de är en helt annan person eller har med kön att göra och också ålder.
Jätteviktigt.
Ja.
Yes. Perfect.
Yeah.
Now you know each other.
Yeah, now we know each other. Now we can dance.
Yes. Now you can dance. Now we the song on. And Mark's put it, so if you can both put your information in the chat box as well, and so you can connect with each other, or if anybody else wants to connect with you, that will be.
I'd like to connect. Yes, I keep meaning to get in touch with Camilla, but we just got all our courses ready. It's been a bit full on the last few weeks, but I'd love to connect and have our chat, Camilla, sometime.
Yeah, that would be lovely. I would.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And now Camilla and Mark can connect as well. Fabulous. So yeah, good morning everybody. And now Camilla and Danielle has actually, they know about a little bit about each other. Then just remember, the power is in the the fortune is in the follow-up. It was quite interesting because I thought through the week as well is what we've actually learned about networking over the last few months as well. And we have looked at, we've talked about the power in your pitch, and I done a talk once on what a pitch is and how to pitch and how powerful your pitch is. And we've also we've talked about, I wrote it down yesterday and I've forgotten it today. We also we learned about networking and the acronym of networking last week with Tracy, and I think Danielle, you listened to it on YouTube, didn't you? So I put it on YouTube for anybody to listen to. And this week we're going to talk about the importance of being healthy to help your business as well, with the wonderful Sue Worrell, who has the Health Hub Club. But also, my dog is just about to growl. And also I hope that you've got some slides. So I put you as co-host, Sue, as well, so we can there's part of this as well that Sue can talk about with a Health Hub Club, that you can actually get involved in a Health Hub Club so you can help others, and you can your business can grow as well with Sue. So over to you, Sue Worrell.
Hi, I'm just going to share my screen. While I'm sharing, I need to apologize because I should have been on last night, and being dyslexic, I didn't read the message properly that Claire sent me, and I didn't realize. She said, "Are you okay for tonight?" And I missed out the word tonight and said, "Yes, I'm fine," and then didn't turn up, so I'm really sorry. I think it was all the worse for me saying, "Yes, I'm absolutely fine," and then not coming on.
Yeah. So I was a bit worried then, because I did actually say, "Sue, are you okay?"
No, I'm not okay.
I was even contemplating calling her. Sure, she's fine. But that's a note to myself as well. It's making sure that you can actually send messages to make sure everybody understands, not just the person who can read. Sorry,
yes.
Has
yes.
or you miss out your words, isn't it?
I sometimes, if I'm busy, I just see the body of the sentence. I'm brilliant at anagrams because I look at the pattern, so I can do anagrams like that and switch them around.
An anagram next time.
Send me an anagram next. I might turn up. I love it.
Anyway, over to you, Sue. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Some of you know me a bit from on here. Some of you don't know me much at all. My name is Sue Worrell. I've got a frog in my throat this morning. Excuse me. Sound like I've been smoking 20 Woodbine. So I've been in nutrition for over 30 years. I'm absolutely passionate about it. I came into nutrition because I was born with a large heart defect. Didn't find it till I was nearly 20. By then, I always thought that I was unfit, and I used to play netball for the school and all sorts. And I used to keep throwing up in the hedge because I thought everybody was this out of breath. Anyway, they found it in a routine X-ray. They used to X-ray routinely for tuberculosis then. Found it, told me my heart was really enlarged and aged because of that. Had major surgery. They measured me for a coffin then. That's how bad the surgery was then. It's so much better now. And told me that my surgery was very successful. I couldn't believe how good I felt after it, but that I might be in a wheelchair by the time I was 60. And that was my big moment, that I made a point of doing something about my health. And lots of people wait until they have something major happen to them, something not so good happen to them, before they actually do anything about their health. And that's what I've been my mission ever since, is to do preventative health care. You know, keep yourself well. Don't get ill in the first place, because we all go on with niggling things and it's our body giving us a little prod and we're not realizing it. So big thing for me was to be active. Our body's made to move. And this is me in various years. That was when I was 60, did a skydive just to prove that I wasn't in a wheelchair, excuse me. And then skiing and what you call it, what you call those things, Claire? They're not snowmobiling on a racetrack. So I've always loved activity and just making the most of life. So this is about me, and this is just a little thing which is was fascinating that I found these details for. That's how many days I've lived. That's how many times my heart is beats. And that's how many miles my blood vessels would reach if they put it end to end. It's incredible, really, when we put it into figures, isn't it? Our blood vessels are our Eddie Stobart's system. They are our delivery system, and they are incredibly important. And if you can't get a blood supply to it, you can't fix it. So it's amazing what our body, how many miles we've got in our body, and how we just ignore it every day. So the big thing for our lives and our health is also really big for our business, yet sometimes we don't think of it like that. If someone has a stroke, it's a major impact on their business. They go from being a completely able body and really active to maybe not even being able to move or walk even. So you've got to look at business-wise, I'm sure Mark will tell you, to make sure your business is covered and your family is covered for that. And that if you're, the best thing you can do is make a difference to your health, but you need to be covered anyway. So these are the big 5 things that knock us out these days, and either actually take our lives or make a huge impact on our lives. And cardiovascular disease is at the root of all of them, and a major impact on all of those. So can you see that, the end of that? I've got my my thing about that. So it's just amazing facts that if you go to the British Heart Foundation, you'll see, you can work out the facts about yourself on there. And it's things, our heart is so powerful that we don't give it much thought and much respect sometimes. And we should really be looking after it health-wise. So this is the people in Wales living, 375,000 living with heart disease. And through this COVID outbreak and pandemic and the lockdowns, there are more people with heart disease appearing because they're not going to see the doctor about it soon enough. More people have had heart attacks because they've not recognized some symptoms, but they've put it off because of not being able to see a doctor so easily, or not wanting to go into a hospital for a checkup, which is a really side of COVID that I feel very sad about. So do we look after our bodies? Not really, do we? So if we had a Sebastian Vettel's beautiful racing car, would we feed it on junk food and cheap petrol? So if someone came and said, I've got this really pretty looking petrol, do you want to shove it in your car? You wouldn't, would you? No, definitely wouldn't. It would definitely not help its performance. And this is the race horse, One for Arthur, that won the what you call it, the one in Liverpool. Can't remember, I'll think of it in a minute. So would you keep it up all night, feed it on McDonald's and fast food and expect it to perform in the morning? No, you certainly wouldn't. But we expect it of our bodies. We expect to go out and have a binge weekend and then Monday morning rock up really fit for work and raring to go. And we are doing things that we don't even think about. One of the big underlying things is the amount of omega-6 in our diet. How many kids do you see doing that? No? But you see them eating a packet of crisps. And are my grandchildren look like this? No, thank goodness, but so many people's grandchildren do. And we're not just killing us, we're killing future generations. And I'll talk about that at the end. This is the map of obesity. And there's the only one that's worse than us, the darker the reds, the higher the number, is Turkey. I'm not sure whether that's Turkish delight or not, but but there's some reason why turkey is on the par with us. And so we're not doing so well, guys. We're really not doing so well. And obesity is not about a fast track diet. Obesity is not about just stopping eating or reducing calories. All the diets like calorie reducing, low carbs, low fat, the cabbage soup diet, all of these don't work because our fat makes our hormones. They're made in our fat and they are really important to us. We need fat to disperse hormones. We need fats to break them down. And we also need to have all our toxins stored in fat cells until we can break them down, because we do not want them in our body. A great example of that we see every day is a headache. If you've got a headache, you've got toxins in your system that have leaked out of the fat cells for some reason, through stress or whatever. And a headache is not a paracetamol deficiency. You need to drink water, hydrate, and help that get circulated out. So if we do a fast diet, that's what happens. We get very skinny, but we are stacked with toxins. And you often see people looking drawn after a fast track diet. They're okay for a while, then they start to look drawn. So what we need to do is we need to cleanse and we need to change our lifestyle. Cancers cannot grow on healthy soil. They need poor soil. They need acidic soil to grow in. And this was found a long time ago by a doctor, and his name is William Lloyd. I think it's Dr. William Lloyd. And there's an article in a book about Victorian times I read a long time ago. And it was a sort of old Victorian medicine. It was a combination of a documentary and a story, a fascinating book. And I can't remember the name of it. I've been looking for it yesterday. But this doctor says to his student, I want you to come and see this patient. It's something you'll never see again in your lifetime. It's called cancer. And now, I know how many people, it's like 1 in 3 or something, have some kind of cancer in their lifetime. So it's what we do to our body every day that makes a difference. So if we get something like a cancer started in our body, we need six months treatment at least. So that would really knock on our business. So if we are owning our own businesses, which most of us are on Intrabiz, we really need to think about this, and we need to think about our health as part of our business. It's the business of our health. And this is just how clever the human body is. This is a picture, a medical picture of a cancer cell, which is the thing with all the tentacles on it. And then the little white puffy things that look like marshmallows, they are our T cells. And every day we get 10,000 hits on each cell, which can make it into a cancer cell, which is like a cell that doesn't die. And then what happens is our immune system, these T cells come behind us. And when the cell doesn't die, it goes in there, injects this with perforin, a kind of protein that it has inside it. And it implodes and we just get it out through our waste system. So every day, it's not about having a fortnight of health, doing 2 weeks of exercise and challenges. It's about changing how we live and changing it one step at a time. And every step we do makes a huge difference. So we're looking a lot at our immune system at the moment with COVID and with how people are surviving COVID. I had it in the beginning of February. I'm more positive now because the friend who I caught it off, who had been to a big funeral with people from just come back from ski holidays. She's been told she definitely had it and had some lung problems after. And it wasn't nice. I was not very well for a week, but I've had colds that were worse. So if your immune system is good, if you've got a really strong immune system, then you will be able to get through it. And we're going to have to develop this. Otherwise, we'll be living with a pandemic and hiding from it all the time. We need to develop more like Sweden did with herd immunity. So we need to look after our immune system. And a big impact on that is our microbiome. And our microbiome is what we grow, the bacteria we grow in our body. So this bacteria has a direct impact on how our immune system works. We are greatly outnumbered, 100 to 1, they think, of cells of another species really in our body. They're not even human cells. So are we human or not? But we need this. And the whole lot is called microbiota, and the stuff, our personal one, is called our microbiome. And the immune system has 2 levels. I'm not going to go into it deeply, but 2 levels. We've got the first responders, who are they're all about speed and aggression, and they throw a veil over a virus, they swallow it up. Got some brilliant pictures on another thing, or they push some chemical into it and crush it, but they're not very fussy of how they do it. So lots of viruses have developed a way of getting rid of those, of getting past that front line. That's our front line. They're basophils and macrophils, and they have names like that. Then the second line is our intelligent immune system, and that is our T cells and our P cells and our C cells. And they manufacture something, and they make the spike not connect with their spike. So they are much cleverer. And if our front line is greatly responsive, so if we do something like, even if we've got a phobia of spiders and we hold a spider in our hand, that really zoops up our front line without any need, really. It's the response. So if we're doing that with stress, and stress and cortisol's permanently in our body, we are up in that front line of defenders. So you might think that's good, but it's not. It's like wearing out our foot soldiers. And the difference in the balance between how many frontline defenders we have and how many second line defenders we have makes us have autoimmune disease. So this is when we get allergies and reactions to things. And our microbiome is integral in making that balance return and in keeping it at a good level. So Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. And we are getting back to it in some ways. We are talking about it. Things on the television are much better. The Trust Me, I'm a Doctor programs. There's a brilliant one called The Truth About Boosting Your Immune System. Because you get lots of programs boosting your immune system. And if you just boost it with a load of gunk and a detox, you're not doing it any good at all. So there's brilliant programs on, real programs, not like they used to be, which were, I'm very keen on them. They were all shortcutting this, that, and the other. But we have coming back to it slowly. And what we need to be doing to keep our health and to keep our energy and our zest and our mental health for business as well, because our microbiome is made from what we eat and what we get in contact with. And by the way, it doesn't do us any good at all sitting in our houses and over disinfecting our work surfaces. We need bacteria. We need to get different bacteria to make our microbiome more diverse. So what we need to be doing, the best thing we can do and the easiest thing we can do and the cheapest thing we can do is pile in fruits and vegetables. So we need it from Nature's Pharmacy with an F, and not run by pharmacists, but farmers with an F as well. And this is why we need it, because all the time we've got all this pollution. Garden to table time is much too long. There's toxins and esterols in the water, and we have forced and pushed at, I don't know about Sweden and how bad it is there, but we have got things like Just Eat, deliver to your door, Domino's pizzas, everything, and all of it is fast food. I can't see hardly any good food in there. And it's what you do on a daily basis that matters. This was used in a program on Horizon called Trust Me, I'm a Doctor. And I got in touch with them after and asked them, do they have a new up to date? Because I'd been trying to find one and they got the same one as I had got hold of. So it's different now, but these 15 years, 11 years, isn't it? The last 15 years, we know our food is even more depleted because of the way it's grown. It's grown in sprayed in the soil has got lots of additives and herbicides and pesticides, and then it's picked too soon. It's only when it's ripe we get the right nutrition. Then it travels too far. Then it's stored for too long, and then we overcook it. So just looking at the first one, the amount of calcium in broccoli went from 103 to 33. That's a huge dip. So I won't linger on this one. and we'll move to that one. But the reason I showed you that one is that a while ago, the pharmacy industry did some studies, and they found that drug that I just gave you a quick look at. I can't remember the name, it is too long. And the drug sets, they said that the drug would give you a 15% reduction in mortality of heart disease and strokes. And yet, and it was starting to be advertised, but there was a clause on the bottom, because I got sent this study, clause on the bottom which said people on this study were more susceptible to possibly fatal infections. Well, that's nice, isn't it? I won't be first in line for that one then. I don't know about anybody else. But when Asda and Tesco's advertised fruits and vegetables as being help you protect against cancers, they were sued £20,000 each. And yet we know that polyphenols, anthocyanins, all the precious plant nutrients in fruits and vegetables gives you a 30% reduction in mortality just by eating berries every day. So the clinical research studies all show this, that fruits and vegetables and whole grains and seeds deliver antioxidants and phytonutrients that are easily absorbed by the body, not in tablet form. We do not absorb vitamins. If you take vitamin C in mixtures or in capsules, you just get orange pea. You get less than 4%. If you eat an apple, you get 4 milligrams. If you eat an apple, you get 5 milligrams and no fallout. And that orange pea you get, the body has to work really hard through 5 different chemical cascades to get there, to get it out of our body. So it's not a good way to do it. So it reduces oxidative stress that we have every day that causes cancers, etc. It reduces inflammation. Inflammation is a silent killer. It creeps up on us until we have arthritis and sore joints and other things. Cardiovascular wellness, which is my big thing. And then healthy skin and gums. So we get to look better as well. And our teeth don't fall out, which is always good when you're over 70. And it supports our immune system and our microbiota. So yeah, why are we not doing it? Just a quick note on this. I won't do it all, but there's two new things in medicine. It's nutrigenetics and nutrigenomics. And nutrigenetics show that we don't inherit our genes. We inherit their habits as well. So nutrigenetics is about genetic coding and what comes down through the generation. But nutrigenomics shows that it's the environment that those chemicals have. So if we live a better lifestyle, if we don't make our bodies like acid soil so cancers can form, then we won't get it. It's our choice. And they found that, like my family, nobody over the age of 60 has lived without a stroke on my father and my mother's side. All had strokes and heart disease and died of heart attacks. So my family's high in genetics for heart disease. Yeah, I'm 72, 73 nearly, and I've never had any problems since the defect I was born with. So you can change it. And what's more they found with nutrigenomics is that they pass that down. So I had someone who was 34 the other week who was talking to me, and he said, "Oh, Sue, I'm going to eat what I like and enjoy my life and binge on Coke and pizza. That's what I like to live, and I like my McDonald's." So I said, "Have you got children?" He said, "No, we've waiting another year, and we're going to have a look for some, have children and build a family." So I said, "What about them? Do you want to give them good health?" He said, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll change then." But I said, "Then you're giving him the genes that you've made poor genes. So why do you do that?" And we know now it can go down more than one generation. So it's not just about us. It's about what we give our children. So this is my little recipe, which is 8 glasses of filtered water a day. Eat plant-based diet as much as you can. If you do eat meat, make sure it's grass-fed meat and as organic as possible. Have tons of berries and fruits and veg, particularly greens as well. Have a good blend of omegas. The gap between 3 and 6, which was that 6 is in that oil that child was drinking, is we don't want that, but we need to have the whole blend to absorb it all properly. And then vitamin D is completely different to the other vitamins. We should take it, and we should take it in a spray form or a bit more expensive. You get what you pay for in things like vitamin D and supplements. If it's cheap, and it's usually over manufactured, otherwise they don't have a good enough profit margin. So you have to pay for, you get what you pay for. So vitamin D with K2 is really good. Magnesium, look for it in your food. But if you've been told you're low on it, or you're not sure with what you're eating, take a 30-day of magnesium and up your magnesium a bit, because that magnesium does about 20 or 30. It has a hook on all our systems, things like how much fat we store, insulin production, skin health, gut. It helps everything. If you're a vegetarian or vegan, you really should take some B12 somewhere. And definitely D3 with K2 and magnesium. And then look at probiotics. In Sweden, I don't know how much fermented food you have, but I think you have quite a few things. If you can make kombucha or kefir, brilliant. So that's my little recipe for you to take away. And you should all be thinking about that in COVID with this around. And you can get your vitamin and mineral measured easily. And zinc is the other one that they're finding helps. Zinc is the sex vitamin. If you're trouble with fertility or whatever, and you're low in zinc, that just doing that on its own sometimes helps. But it has other functions as well. So I've put this book together with Luke, actually. And this is mine. Luke's got one of his own, and we've got one together. It's exactly the same thing. It's a little challenge, health challenge. It's 30 days kickstart, but the idea is to change your life altogether. So if anybody wants a copy of that, I'll happily send it to you. And what I found 19 years ago nearly now was a product called Juice Plus, which Claire is on. And it's 30 varieties of fruit, veg and berries. And it's absorbable because they grow it themselves, pristinely grown. It's picked as it's ripe, and it's encapsulated in vegan capsules. It's juice dried on the farm, so it doesn't deteriorate at all. And then it's encapsulated it's sent to Switzerland in a sealed can thing, and it's encapsulated in a nutraceutical laboratory. So it's the only health product in the world that has more than 37 studies at top universities on what it does for us. And that's my sort of base every day. That's my foundation every day. And I take their omegas as well. And then I'm just about to, I'll show you if I can move my computer. And I'll stop sharing in a second. I'll show you what I'm just about to have. I had one before, and I'm going to stop sharing. Well, I can't do it with my finger. It's not an iPad. Just a second. Okay. Let's get to stop share. Sorry, my mouse wasn't connected in. So I had one before because I was on the committee for developing these, and yesterday of this, which is a tower garden. So I'm pretty useless at growing things in the garden. I'm pretty good at orchids. That's just about it because they love neglect. But I've got this tower garden. So the tower garden stands about this high, and it gets more yield than an allotment, and you can grow all your herbs and lettuce leaves and nasturtiums and courgettes and peppers, and you grow them in a tower, and it has beautiful light. So it'll serve as a light as well in our orangery room, which is where we eat most of the time. So this company's produced that, and Claire is a distributor with myself, and it's not a main business, but it's a great add-on. It's a brilliant add-on, and lots of my colleagues who are nutritionists, like Simone, Luke, nutritionists, permaculturists, or herbalists, chiropractors, acupuncturists, they all use this as a side business, because not only are you giving people the gift of health in an easy way but you can have a secondary income on it as well. So if anybody's interested, talk to myself, and you can come in the business in Sweden through Claire. They don't have tower gardens in Sweden yet, but they'll be coming pretty soon, I'm told. They'll be coming this year, I think. So yeah, the lights are heated as well, Claire. So even if it's minus, they still have enough heat to keep growing. I think Richard would love it.
Is that in the garden then, or do you have it in your house?
I'm having it in the house, and in the summer I'll push it out into the garden. It's I'll show you next week when I construct it and put some plants in there. You grow plants in rock wool till they're about an inch big, and then you just put them in these little, they're like a strawberry planter, but there's it's not aeroponics, it's not aquaponics, it's aeroponics. So there's a trough at the bottom with the wheels like a pot, and it goes up from this pot. It looks very nice, it looks like a stormtrooper. And
yeah, I've seen it last. You put something on social media.
I did on LinkedIn, yeah. So it puts a fountain of water up to the top. It runs down, and the roots doing their job, they really seek for it. So they get big, long roots. So it grows in 5 weeks. So in 5 weeks, you've got meals of salad, and then you just, as you take one out, you put some new plants in. Yeah, so it's ongoing salad. The restaurant, Chicago Airport has got them, and it's like tower to table. It's just brilliant, yes. So that's the sort of business opportunity with it. But just for your own health, just stand back, take time out to see where you are. Look at little things that are happening as you get older. From the time you're a child into adulthood, things start to happen, and your body tells you, body talks to you. And the more you feed it rubbish, the less you can hear what it's saying.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Thank you so much, Sue. It was, I don't know if anybody else knows, but my background is health and fitness, and I'm qualified as a food nutritionist as well. Let it slide since I've been in Sweden and developed a different business. And Sue and I've been working together quite a bit. And yeah, it's really good to hear what you've just said, and yeah, there's a few golden nuggets in there as well that I didn't know. So tick, and that's brilliant. And I think it's important, and that's why I asked Sue to come on, especially in this time now with COVID, that we are stuck in the house a lot more, aren't we, than going out. So we're reducing our exercise levels, and I think when you're working from home, it just becomes one big blob. I say blob, but when you're getting up in the morning, you're going to bed in the night, and everything in between is just all marrying together. So it's really important that we look after our health if we are working from home, so that we can actually function. Because if we can't function in our day, just getting out of bed, then we can't function in our business, and our businesses are going to suffer.
Yeah, we lose the diversity, don't we? We any stress we get, we keep it with us because we're all in the same place. We don't get away from it enough. I've put 2 hours one side from the beginning, thank goodness. I'd be round the bend by now. But we're keeping the same bacteria as well. We need to get out there in the dirt and see some animals and things and pick up different bacteria, and we're doing that less. And then there's all this advertising about cleaning surfaces to death as well.
Yeah. It's quite interesting. My the little bonus granddaughter, well, she's 1.5 now, and well, quite disgusting actually. Her mother came in, her mother had to run out because something happened. They got 18 dogs. Her mother had to run out for something. She was gone 5 seconds. It was a blink of an eye. By the time she came in, her house dog, which never dirties in the house, had pooed right in front of Eden, and Eden was eating.
Yeah, that's the first thing they do is taste it. This animal instinct. What's that taste like?
And she was eating it. And then the other day, Annie said to me, "Do you think I can give Eden this?" Because she's just turned 1, so she she's not 1.5. She just turned 1 in December. Do you think I can give Eden 1.5-year-old porridge? I said, if she can eat dog poo, she can eat anything. Yes. And she wasn't ill. Give that child everything, and I give her everything. Annie was like, I need to Google how old she can be to eat to eat these certain foods, and I'm like, it's too late, I've given it to her and she's fine. So she has everything. That little one eats everything, you know.
Yes, my grandchildren do as well. They're out in the all weathers. They live in Scotland, so they I think the little one would prefer Sweden to Spain. Yeah. She hates the heat. Yeah, she loves it cold.
Yeah, she
out in all weathers.
Sprouts, which is only until I got into my adult age that I eat sprouts. I don't know what the car root sprouts are. They're the small cabbages.
Oh yes, yeah.
I was just thinking with Daniela and Camilla. They're the small cabbage type.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I can't think of the name, but I'm thinking, but I can't recall it. Yes,
it's sprouts in English, but I don't know what the Swedish word is.
I mean, they're all.
Is it a fruit, or is it a berry, or is it a vegetable?
It's a vegetable. It's a vegetable.
Oh, it's the one that you eat with Christmas, like
yes,
fried in butter.
Yeah, but there's another one, not Brussels sprouts. It's another one.
Brysselkål.
Oh, not that one.
Brysselkål, yeah. Brussels sprouts, yeah.
Those are.
Yeah. So she's one, and they are quite strong, aren't they? And
I don't like those. I can't eat those. No.
So
if you bring the children up on jarred food, and the minority of the taste is a mixture of sugar and salt to keep some flavor in it, they never develop the craving, and that's what the Juice Plus. That's why I found it. Is because if you take it, a child has it free, and they have it in little gummy form, and the little precious powders are in there. And it makes them crave fruits and vegetables, because otherwise, if you don't put it in there, the body doesn't learn to want it. So, yeah.
That's interesting. I never knew that. The other thing that was interesting was that when you're eating your what you eat as well is what you impart onto your children.
They do what you do, not what you say. Yeah. I'm sure Mark will agree with that.
Any other questions? Go on, Camilla.
Okay, it looks like you're drinking champagne in Thursday morning, Sue.
This is another.
That's good.
This is my mind and body energy. This is guava, yerba mate tea, lemon peel, and something else, and cherries, dark tart cherries, and it's just brilliant. It really, in the COVID, when I'm here and I'm doing more late night meetings, I'm really wide awake, but it's not like caffeine. I used to use organic coffee, but then I'd get the shakes, didn't agree with me. But I'm hooked on this now instead. It's it's like little sachets and it's the only healthy energy drink. So there's another thing that they don't do many products. They do the fruit and veg, the omegas, this energy drink, and the Tower Gardens, and a macronutrient shake, which I use with all the Paralympics. I got to gold medal and everything, the sports drink. So yeah. Mark, you wanted a question?
Well, I had a question that was just I just wondering, because I didn't understand everything you said, but this with the vitamins, I think it's very difficult, because when you go into a store that sells vitamins and stuff like that, they always shows you different, and they shows you this is good enough, and this is, because I used to ask which vitamins do you talk to the own cells in the bodies, because some vitamins are just, your body can take care of it, they can't talk to it.
But none of them really, none of them work well.
Do you have a brand or something?
No, none of them work. None of them work in isolation. Vitamin D does. Don't overdo vitamin C, because it depletes your copper, and then that knocks on your selenium and messes up. You should have enough in your food. We don't need to take them like that. So what you need to do is not increase the vitamin. You need to increase the fruits and vegetables with it in it. Once you fractionate it, science is gone. An apple has 10,000 nutrients. When we have that 5 milligrams of vitamin C, it uses every single bit of it. If we have vitamin C on its own, or whether another couple of things instead of those 10,000, we just get out of 1,200 milligrams, we only absorb 4. And our body has to work so hard with that. We need that 4 to sort that bit out. So it negates it all the time. So don't buy multivitamins. They don't work. There is no study. If there was a study that said multivitamins are the answer, they'd all be millionaire. The companies would be, one of them would have gone through the roof. They don't work. We wouldn't have diseases if they worked. They just don't work.
But when you say that that we should eat vitamin D3, K2,
Yeah, that's one that's one thing, one product. It's if you go on Doctor's Natural, Dr. McCullough, and find a good vitamin D with K2.
Okay, can you write those down for us?
I'll tell you what, shall I do a little message in the messenger to everybody? I'll do a link to I'll give you a link to the Health Hub Club. The Health Hub Club is under our Health Academy. And in there's a library, and I'm able to offer that free now. We're giving it completely free. So there's tons of information like this in there. And there's a stack more to get in when we've got someone who's going to come in and populate it for us. We just haven't the time to get it in there. But I'll give you the link to go on there completely free. Just go in and join. And I'll put a little synopsis of today's meeting and a little like recipe list of what you should have as a base.
Yeah, that's great. And how is it with probiotica? Is that the
probiotics?
same?
Yeah. I mean, that should be in our food as well. So if you do you know how to make kombucha or kefir?
No, but I'm thinking a lot about. I'm sorry.
I'll put that's in the library, but I'll put a message in about that. It's a great one to have in lockdown because you can just drink it in the day. You can start with tea bags and apple cider vinegar, but it has to be the tea bag with no plastic in it. There's a lot of recipes and how you make it in there, and we're going to do demos on it. We did our first demo yesterday. We had Alnet from South Africa, who is now living in Reading, and she cooked a pizza in real time. She's a domestic science instructor.
I think Stefan was on that yesterday because he said you'd done it at 11 o'clock yesterday.
Yes, yeah. And she does everything in 55 minutes because that's the longest she's got with the students. So she's got all these recipes. So yesterday we did healthy pizza, cooked it from scratch. And what I thought was brilliant was, and I do what's in it, and I do the tips on what we get from mushrooms and how to make more out of them, what we get from tomatoes, what we get from basil. So I do that and she does the cooking. There's going to be a few of those every month now. We're archiving them, so you can go in and look it up and make it yourself. My daughter's going in tomorrow because the kids were online yesterday. What was great was she's got great tips. Like she said, don't put your oven on. You put the pizza in a cold oven, turn it right up to the temperature because it proves as it heats and then it cooks. So all this about proving it for an hour, the dough for an hour first and everything, all negated. So yeah, she's got some great tips. It was good. So go in there. It's completely free.
So that's in. Sue's got a Health Hub Club, so we can go into that free of charge.
Yes.
And that's got all these wonderful hints and tips that Sue's been giving to us now. But also, Camilla, I'm sure Sue wouldn't mind speaking to you if you wanted to speak with her.
Anyone on here, I'll do a free chat with anyone who joins Sweden. We'll do a free hour on your own health and what you'd like to turn around or what you reckon, what you're seeing. And I'll give you a personal list of what you should put in because everybody's different. You know, it's not one diet for humans. It's what's the diet for me.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you.
I'll do that for Sweden.
Just quickly, Mark had a question. And then do you have any questions, Daniela?
Yeah, I can go after Mark. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. One.
Sue, first of all, that was an absolutely incredible presentation. I did take a few photos of some of the slides. And I think we can definitely use that. Camila, the questions you were asking were incredible and thoroughly enjoyed that. It's that being that in sport, I've played rugby all my life and then went into coaching and then becoming a rugby coach for the Welsh Rugby Union for over 5 years, and the training that I used to put forward to the players was all about fitting body, fitting mind. If the body's fit, the mind has to get fit. And I just wondered, from your perspective, Sue, which one comes first, fitting mind, fitting body, or in unison? I'm so keen to hear what you say.
Okay, so it's like chicken and egg, but what we can control easier is getting our body fit because it's going to feed the mind anyway. We've got a blood-brain barrier that stops toxins getting into our brain. That's how clever our body is. Our circulation makes a blood-brain barrier, and our brain has its own system of energy. Because it doesn't like burning, it'll only burn glucose really. It doesn't like burning fats where our body can convert them all. So we look after our body first, put the right fuel in there, and that will feed, our body will feed our brain, and it will sharpen our thoughts and stop the mood swings and help prevent anxiety. And even if you've got something, you can't take things out sometimes, they're beyond your control of the stress around you. You can't stop it suddenly, but it will help us cope with it. It really will provide coping mechanisms with it. So look after your body first, because it's the easiest thing to do, and do the same with your children. Teach them to look after their body, show them good habits.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. And Daniela?
Yeah, that was great. I had to remind myself what questions I had because that was so much information. Yeah. How much worse is it, or is it sufficient to take in frozen vegetables or non-organic ones, or how good of a quality do the vegetables have to be of
Okay.
food?
Yeah, it's important, but frozen veg are fine. In fact, frozen veg frozen berries are often got more nutrition in them than the fresh berries that have been coming from foreign countries. Not Spain is not so bad, and the transition was good before the Brexit ports problem, but some are better garden to table because they're frozen on the farms very often. So frozen's really good. It's really good to have a bag of frozen veg and put them into everything, put them in soups as well. So the less processed they are, the better. The more like nature they are, once you denature them, they become impaired. And try and buy your fruit and veg from a greengrocer's, because it's half the storage time of a supermarket. And the less pretty they are, the better they are very often. Apples, the average age of a supermarket apple is a year. So they're all, that's why they've all got pink on one side, green on the other. They're all stored in these cases and filled with carbon dioxide. And they've got, that depletion starts as soon as you pick them. And if they're not ripe, you're not getting the ripeness to start. They might go a nice color after they're picked, but the nutrition isn't there. So the nearer to nature you can be, the better. Organic is great just because the market is, you pay more for it because of that transit and everything is better. But it's not mega important. It's like exercise for sports people, Mark. If you can give them the best exercise thing in the world, you can give anyone, an executive, an Olympic exercising routine, but he can't do it. So it's what you can do. You do what you can do and do it every day. And that's the best thing. If you make something different, do that every day. It's a huge impact on your health.
Yeah, a quick follow-up question. But when we buy the frozen vegetables, don't we have to cook them or prepare them? Does that lower the... It
does, yeah. Every time you cook them, it goes down. But if you get the frozen vegetables and take them out of the freezer for an hour before, and then just drop them in a steamer and lightly steam them, that's the best. Don't use microwave.
The shorter, the better.
Yeah.
Quick. Brilliant. Thank you, Sue. And it's 11 o'clock, everybody. Time for that. This 1 hour goes really, really quick. Next week, we've got Heather Barry, and she's going to do the Swedish LinkedIn posting party. So are you all getting your emails, the newsletter on, it was Tuesday today. Sorry, I forgot to send it. I had, Cleo asked me to read it and proofread it, and I did and forgot to send it. So it was Tuesday.
I'll check, Claire, because my emails have got a big filter on them.
Okay.
I might send you another email, okay? Because I don't think I've seen it. Okay.
Every Monday we send our newsletter out. So in this newsletter, because there'll be specifics that we need you to do for the LinkedIn posting party for your LinkedIn. So we'll write in the newsletter what you need to prepare before the meeting. The reason we're doing this is because, and we're going to do it in Swedish as well. So people from the UK will have to learn some Swedish. Yes. Practice our Swedish.
That should be fun.
It will be fun. But I think Christian and Stefan is going to help us or like maybe Camilla or Daniela can help us with some of the translation if we need to. So
brilliant. Nice.
yes,
Good being
so it'll be about communicating before the meeting as well, so that we've got our post Swedish grammarly written, because Google Translate is not always the best.
But it's good. It's getting better. It was I think for every year it's getting better. It was much worse for like a couple of years ago. I think I was surprised when I did some translation from English to Swedish, and I was thinking, shit, this is really good Swedish.
Good.
It was just, I think
it's just sometimes you can get the words, because I remember somebody sending me a Swedish email once, and it was a long one, so I was lazy and I thought, right, Google Translate. And what they were asking me for was they wanted a price. It was a long email, but in the middle of it, it was like they wanted a price of a meal in the quarter. And when it actually translated, it said food in the horny, because quarter translates to horny.
Okay. That's going to make you
interesting. That's a whole different price.
That's good, a vitamin.
So that was really funny. So I always have to double check, you have
to check and you have to read, because I saw some words also that I could understand. Okay, this is quite weird translated, but I was directly more surprised.
Yeah, but it's just sometimes it's the words, isn't it? It's a different meaning, so we just have to be careful. So if we translate and just make sure that that they're not rude words.
Yes.
It doesn't say horny. Yeah, okay.
No. Understand. Or anything else. Yeah.
Great. Thank you, everybody. Remember, Camilla, Daniela, Fortune's a follow-up, and Camilla, talk to Mark, and then if anybody wants an hour with Sue as an Intrabiz member.
Yeah, just get in touch with me on WhatsApp or LinkedIn, Camilla, and I'd love to have a chat with you. And now I've got a course.
We are working on bringing like the Health Hub Club as well into Sweden.
Yeah, I'll do that in the messenger. I'll put all the links in the messenger as well, in case people don't pick them up quick enough from here.
Yeah, and, that would be great.
Yeah. And after next week, after the first week in February, I'll be a bit freer in time, because I'm just got these 2 massive courses going out, and still I can't proofread for the life of me, as you see by not reading your message properly. So we're getting all this proofreading done, and then gets changed. So it's time consuming at the moment. Once that's out, then I'll have lots more time for nice meetings with a coffee.
It was a great presentation, really great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sue. And I'm just going to stop the recording now.